Rachel Beam here with Forte, a communications consulting firm based here in Portland, Oregon. If you're a leader, one of the primary things that you need from your team is their support. In order to be able to garner the support of your team, you need to build trust. So today, I'd like to share with you 3 ways that you can build trust as a leader with your team so you can get that support that you need. Number 1, first thing that you need to be able to do is face conflicts. That's a big part of why you are the leader, is because your team needs someone who's going to go to bat for them, someone who can stand up to the bully, someone who can take a hit for them so that you as a team can move forward to wherever it is that you are going. So often, the boss or the leader says, oh, it's okay, you can do that, or oh, it's okay that you can do that. And then when the higher ups come down and they say, no, you can't do that, they get thrown under the bus. Don't throw your team under the bus. If you want to build trust with your team, be willing to go to bat for them, to stand up to conflict, and not to shy away from it. That includes conflicts between team members also. So sometimes this person and this person can't get along. If you just pretend that you're not going to deal with it, that absolutely detracts from the amount of work that can get done. And meanwhile, you're over hiding in the corner. That's not a leader. You want to be a leader, you need to be able to face up to conflict. And probably the number one way you can do that is simply to breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. When you're talking to the higher ups, when you're talking to the members of your team that are in conflict, when you're telling someone something that they don't want to hear, you breathe. And that communicates to them that it's okay to have this difference of opinion, that you're okay, they're okay, it's all going to be okay if you can just breathe. So the number 1 thing you can do to build trust is not back down from conflict, but to approach it from a confident, calm place of breathing. The second thing that you can do to build trust with your team is to be consistent. In order to be consistent, you need to actually know what your values are, what your values as an organization are, what your personal values are. And then you need to measure everything against that and follow through every time so that you live and work and act according to those values. If you as an organization say you value punctuality, but then you don't show up on time, that destroys trust with your team. If you say that you value efficiency and then someone gets something done really, really quickly, but there are a few little mistakes, and all of a sudden you're freaking out over the little details, that destroys trust with your team. If you want to build trust, you need to be consistent over time with your message and also with your character. You yourself need to be congruent with your own values, with the company's values, and communicate that. This also goes back to how you interact with members of your team. Stop playing favorites. That also destroys trust. You need to be consistent not only in how you move forward towards that big picture goal that you have, but you need to be consistent in how you treat members of your team. If you treat Susie over here with special privileges, but then Jack over there, gets nothing, that also destroys trust. And not only does Jack not give you his best, but you know what? Susie's going to take advantage of you. So you don't want to do that either. Be consistent with how you treat each member of your team, and that will help you build trust. The third way that you can build trust in your team is to let people screw up. Mistakes are a part of life. You make them, your team members make them. Sometimes they cost money, sometimes they cost time, but no one is ever going to be perfect. No project is ever going to be perfect, and no company is ever going to be perfect. The wonderful thing about screw-ups is that we learn so much from them. And if you have a culture where no one is ever allowed to be anything less than perfect, people are just going to be scared. They're going to be scared of you. They're not going to share, and they're not going to do their best. Because in order to do your best, you got to be willing to take a few risks. One of the ways that you can communicate that it's okay to screw up is to hold yourself accountable for your own mistakes. Let people know when you've screwed up. Don't hide it. Don't blame it on other people. Don't make excuses or rationalizations for it. Just say, I screwed up. Here's how I'm going to fix it. And here's the benefits of what happened there. Here's what I learned from that. Model screwing up. I mean, don't go out and make mistakes on purpose and be an idiot that way. But when you make mistakes, because you will, model how to deal with it appropriately. And when other people make mistakes, hold them accountable too, just like you hold yourself accountable, but do it graciously. Provide safety for them. Provide an environment that welcomes mistakes and holds people accountable, but not in a shaming way. And then what you'll find is that people are much, much more willing to come up with great ideas, be creative, and invest themselves in it. If you want to build trust with your team, if you want to build a culture of safety, you yourself have to be a safe and trustworthy person. That's the number one way you do it. If you liked this video from today, then we invite you to go to our website, www.nonverbalforte.com, and check out some of the other things that we have there. And until then, until I see you again, I invite you to be bold, be real, and be a communication rock star.